Hi guys, Barry Casson here again with another story from my book, How to Become Who You Were Meant to Be. Available on Amazon and at Bowling Books at Hillside Center. Okay, got that out of the way. Now, remember I told you a story about traveling with Chuck Berry and all that? Well, here's an addendum to that story. It's another part of that story we haven't covered yet. So there was myself on drums, David Foster on keyboard, Mike Steinmetz on bass, and Bobby Falls playing rhythm guitar and our lead singer, okay? So we had just finished playing at the Cavern in Liverpool, which was really cool. And we left there, and our next gig was to go to the Olympia Theatre in Paris for a live radio show that was going to be broadcast all over Europe, which was kind of exciting, right? So our agent says, okay, this is your itinerary, blah, blah, blah. Get to the airport, blah, blah. Okay, good. We get to the airport, Heathrow Airport, and we check in, and we were told that the plane was being held. And I remember asking, well, what do you mean being held? Well, there was one person hadn't shown up. They were waiting for him. Oh, okay. And would that be Chuck Berry? Yeah. Well, I guess Chuck was late doing something, whatever. Anyway, finally, Chuck Berry shows up, right? So now the four of us get on the plane. You know what it's like when you get on an airplane, you go up and you walk through the doors, right? And the first thing you do, you see the stewardess, and then you look to the right and see all the people lined up. Well, as we walked through, we turned, looked to the right, and the first face we saw was that of Duke Ellington. And behind him was the entire Duke Ellington band. Now, is that cool or what? And it's four white guys from Victoria. That was just, I mean, we weren't expecting this, right? I tried to get, I went to sit next to Sam Woodyard, Duke Ellington's drummer, but he was already, the seats were filled. I asked the guy next to him, I'd like to talk. No, he was sleeping away. Sam was tired, so I didn't have the balls to wake him up or anything. So now we get to the Olympia Theatre in Paris. And I can't remember everybody that was on the show that night, but one group I do remember was called the Small Faces. Do you recall those guys? Okay, the Small Faces were like, they'd had a couple of hit records, and they were up and coming, and they were just, well, at the top of the charts, if you like, okay? So a couple of guys in that group, one was called Ron Wood, who has been the Stones bass player since 1976, and the other guy was Rod Stewart. Isn't that cool? This is before they were really huge, right? But it was really great to play on that stage and have it go all over Europe. But the exciting, well, not the unexciting thing for me was I had a set of what we called Gretsch drums that were made in the US, and they were like the drum to have at that time. You couldn't get them in Europe. They didn't have a distributor, I recall. So it was kind of like gold dust on stage. You had this beautiful Gretsch snare, brass drum finish. Oh, it's just gorgeous, right? And it sounded great. When we finished the gig, I went to pick up the drum, and it was gone. And what was left was a Ludwig, which is not bad, but it wasn't my Gretsch snare. So a little disappointing, right? So that's the story from the rest of the Chuck Berry thing. I hope you enjoyed that. Now, just a little pitch here. You know, I teach drums at Tempo Trend Music on Burnside. If you know of anyone who is looking for drum lessons, send them to me. I give a free half-hour lesson, no pressure. I'm not a pressure type guy. They can sign up or not sign up. It's good to find out what's right for them and right for me. I do that all the time, so that works. And like I say, my book's also available, Hillside and on Amazon. And I'm doing some public speaking these days, too. I've done talks to Victoria Rotary, the Gyro Club, Camosun College, Inspired Victoria. So I'm looking to get out and do that and talk about stories from my book. So if you know of anybody looking for a speaker for a luncheon or for dinner, tell them about me, and I'd be happy to do that for them. I hope you've enjoyed the story. I got lots more stories from the book to come, and I'll be getting to them in the next week or so. So I thank you for watching. I hope it's been entertaining, and hope to see you next time. Thank you.